Our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, has come back on set. Kaveh, oh my goodness. How do you react to that?
Well, look, the first thing you should say is that referees are human beings. They make mistakes like everybody else. They were working there in a very highly pressurised environment, and they made a mistake, and it was a big mistake.
VAR controversy has once again engulfed Arsenal after a shocking penalty decision against Everton, with official admission after the match only adding fuel to the fire. What should have been a defining moment in a tense Premier League clash instead became another chapter in the growing list of incidents where Arsenal supporters feel justice was denied. The sense of frustration was palpable inside the stadium and across social media, as fans, pundits, and even former referees struggled to understand how such a clear penalty was not awarded. The incident itself was as blatant as they come. An Arsenal attacker burst into the Everton penalty area, shifting the ball past his marker before being caught by a late challenge. Contact was clear, the defender missed the ball entirely, and the forward was sent crashing to the turf. In real time, it looked obvious. Replays made it even more damning. Yet the referee waved play on, and VAR, after a brief check, bizarrely chose not to intervene. No on-field review. No second look. Just play on, as Arsenal players protested in disbelief. What transformed outrage into outrage mixed with disbelief was what followed after the final whistle. Officials privately admitted that the decision should have resulted in a penalty. While such admissions are rarely made public in detail, confirmation that a mistake occurred only deepened the wound for Arsenal. Fans were left asking a simple question: what is the point of VAR if it fails in moments like this? If technology designed to eliminate clear and obvious errors cannot correct such an obvious foul, then its credibility is fundamentally undermined. For Arsenal, this was not just a single moment of injustice, but potentially a season-defining call. In a title race or top four battle where margins are razor-thin, one decision can shift momentum, confidence, and points. Dropped points against Everton could haunt Mikel Arteta's side later in the campaign, especially when rivals benefit from decisions that Arsenal repeatedly seem to be denied. The feeling among supporters is not just that mistakes happen, but that a pattern is forming. Players tried to remain diplomatic after the match, but the frustration was evident. Arteta, while measured, made it clear that his side deserved more. He referenced consistency, or rather the lack of it, pointing out that similar challenges elsewhere in the league have resulted in penalties without hesitation. When standards change from week to week, teams are left in limbo, never knowing what will or won't be punished. Pundits reviewing the incident were largely unanimous. Former referees admitted that the challenge met all the criteria for a penalty. Analysts highlighted how VAR had sufficient angles to overturn the on-field decision, making the failure even more puzzling. The explanation offered that it was not a clear and obvious error was widely mocked, with fans arguing that if this wasn't clear and obvious, then nothing is. Social media erupted almost instantly. VAR exposed trend within minutes, with clips of the incident shared repeatedly. Arsenal fans compared the decision to previous controversies involving the club, reinforcing the narrative that they are consistently on the wrong end of officiating calls. While rivals dismissed the outrage as typical fan reaction, neutral observers found it hard to defend the decision. The wider issue goes beyond Arsenal. The Premier League has invested heavily in VAR to enhance fairness, yet incidents like this erode trust. When officials later admit mistakes but results remain unchanged, it creates a hollow sense of accountability. Apologies do not restore points, and admissions do not alter league tables. For clubs fighting at the highest level, that distinction matters enormously. As the dust settles, Arsenal are left to regroup and refocus, but the anger will linger. Fans will remember this moment if the season comes down to fine margins. For now, VAR stands exposed once again, not as a solution to controversy, but as its central character. Until consistency and transparency improve, nights like this will continue to define Premier League football, leaving teams like Arsenal feeling robbed, unheard, and betrayed by the very system meant to protect them.